Chris Sims with us now, PFT with Mike Florio, every day on Peacock, the Unbuttoned podcast as well, Football Night in America. We will get to this week's slate of games, great slate of games this week in the NFL. But first, Chris, we had your dad on a couple of days ago reacting to the firing of Brian Daboll. And I got to tell you, we fell in love with your father. He is amazing.
He is amazing. You know, I mean, it's I wish Dad had shown his personality in the way he was in his NFL playing career and even when he was an announcer, right? Because I think the number one thing I hear from people that talk to my dad is, whoa, your dad is hilarious. I never thought your dad was like that. Damn, your dad swears. Your dad's crazy. All of this stuff. Because, for so long, first off, he grew up in, he's humble Kentucky and he's just that way. He grew up really in a baseball family where, you know how baseball players are. They there's against the rule to show emotion, right? Yes. I can't ever look happy or sad or anything. I have to be the same guy all the time. I got to be a robot. So he had like that. If you watch interviews during his playing career, you're like, can you crack a smile or something like show a little personality? And then of course he got to CBS with Jim Nantz. He's like, I got to be professional like Jim Nantz and be the biggest square in the history of the planet. So he didn't get to show himself that way either. And now, yes, I feel like people are starting to see what he's really all about.
Take it easy on your dad. He was one of the great analysts of all time. He was.
I know that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, because of that, you didn't get to see his real self as well. But yes, trust me, I'm nobody knows how great my dad is more than me.
So what you're saying is totally accurate, totally fair, because a good friend of mine, Scott, listened to that podcast and said, I've never heard Phil Simms like that. Thank you.
Right.
Because his personality came out. I never got that when he was on TV.
Exactly right. Yes, that's been that's been something that I think once he got towards the end of his career a little bit, he took the old phrase that I've always tried to impose on our family a little bit and fuck it, I'm just going to be me. And that's the best way to do it. So I think he's finally got there at the age of 70.
We're going to play some sound for you. This is Phil Simms on with us earlier this week. This is Phil Simms talking about how much he loves his son.
First off, let me apologize for my son because God knows what he's telling you every week and what he says, but he is very opinionated.
Wow. Yeah.
But you know what? He should be because he knows, he understands the game, he studies it, he's watching, and he doesn't ever go into, as you and I were talking before we came on, maybe we were already on. I don't know, and I don't care. Right. But, the QBR, his passer rating and this and his third down under pressure. Oh, my God. It's so much. Please. I think we know watching the games what is good and what is bad. I don't have to be beat over the head by all this dumbass stats. Oh, my God.
Right. What's the stat you hate the most? Is there a particular... QBR, right? Yeah.
I still don't know what it is, and I'll never know because I'm never going to look into it.
Your thoughts,
so good. Well, you can see where the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree there, right? And that's I always had my dad was a great teacher of the sport for me. And of course, he had a great teacher too off of that. And then I was lucky to be around some other great teachers even when I got out of the house. But a lot of our core principles and what we believe in the sport are very similar that way. We study the game, right? The numbers don't tell everything. That's for sure. So and some of these grading sites have misled people. There's no doubt about it. Like, let me give you a good one. I don't even think I brought this up last week, but just while we're on it, here we're going to go. Right. When the Bills played the Chiefs a few weeks ago, Patrick Mahomes, I get done with the game and I got, I've read the numbers now for the game, people working at NBC. Mahomes was pressured 20 times. Oh my gosh, he was pressured 20 times. So now the next day comes and I'm like, man, I got to go watch this film because, I'm just shocked by that 20 pressures thing. Like, I'm shocked. I find out that on 20 of the pressures, 17 of them, Mahomes had over 4 seconds to throw the ball. But because he held the ball and then moved around and then got hit as he was throwing it, that constitutes as pressure. And that's where I would tell you just to be careful with these grading things because a lot of it is BS bullshit. Nobody in football would count that as pressure on a real team. Nobody. Right. That's coverage, great coverage, making the quarterback hold the ball. Pressure? What? That's not pressure. That's having all fucking day in the pocket to throw the ball and not finding anybody open and waiting to the last second and then throwing the ball, which is on the quarterback in that. So, yeah, you got to take all of that with a little bit of a grain of salt.
It should go without saying his favorite stat is wins.
Yeah, right.
We also asked him about
the... But also, I would bet you that's a pet peeve of his, too, because I know I've heard him say, like, oh, gosh, they're going to give the quarterback the win. Oh, it's always the quarterback. Right? So it's like, yeah, it's good to win, but I think there's times where we overdo it in that department too, right?
Right. You realize when he was playing, the reason he didn't smile was because he couldn't smile. Parcells didn't allow him to smile.
I think there's a part of that too. You're
yes.
right. You're definitely right. There's a reason Bill Belichick and the Patriots are the way they are, because that was first instilled in Bill Parcells. And yeah, I mean, I tell people this all the time, right? I mean, again, football's not supposed to be band camp. We're not all supposed to get a blue and red and ribbon. And then, oh, gosh, you did so good, Johnny. Way to go. Like, right? So, yeah, things were uncomfortable there. Like, if my dad brought me to a Saturday walkthrough practice where most teams in football now are like, bring your family, bring your cousins, bring everybody and distract us so we look like shit through the walkthrough and then we'll be shit tomorrow. Like, good teams don't do that stuff, right? They don't do that. And like when the Bill Parcells and the Giants, when my dad would bring me to a Saturday walkthrough, he'd be like, go up in the stadium and sit up there and shut up, and I'll come get you after practice, right?
Yeah,
and I'd be sitting at Giants Stadium, like in the 10th row, just sitting there with my ball waiting for a walkthrough, right? And like just trying to be like, all right, I don't want to get dad in trouble with Bill, right? That's the way it was. So that's the way he was.
Parcells say hello to you? I mean, anything?
Never.
Hey, kid.
Never. Like,
Christ.
yes, if I came in the locker room, it was like, yeah, everybody's cleared out of there, and now I can come into the locker room, right? That's the way it was. It was a professional environment, which is the way it is for almost every real good team in the NFL.
We asked your dad about the famous Thanksgiving game that you have told us about, and you're going to love this response. Here is Chris's dad, Phil Simms, the great Phil Simms, two-time Super Bowl champion, Emmy Award winner, never smiled. Here's his response.
Well, he might do well in that game because I wasn't here for most of them. But I know during the summer, July 4th, somewhere in there, we always have wiffle ball games, and he ain't worth a crap. Okay. He tries everything, swinging, whatever. And of course, the other one is oh my God, I'm drawing a blank.
What, in terms of holiday games you're playing?
Come on,
cornhole.
Cornhole, Jesus Christ, wake up.
I love the Sims family. I do.
Yeah,
I love you guys so much. Yeah.
For 2 years, I'm undefeated against him.
But you're the only one keeping track, Phil.
No, he knows it.
I know he does. I know.
We played in the backyard 3 years ago, and I beat you. And I go, hey, we're just talking about now, big guy. I mean, you're going to live on something that happened 10 years ago?
He does the Chris Sims impersonation. He does your impersonation. Oh, my God. This is amazing.
Yeah, there you go. So wait, so there's a lot of context to that. First off,
I'm sure there is.
First off, like when he says undefeated, like that's like, first off, you're going to believe a guy that couldn't remember what the fuck he was saying just 5 seconds before that, okay?
Yep, you did.
He lost his train of thought.
Yes,
all right, so let's calm down with believing every word that comes out of his mouth, all right? Second off, like, he's definitely won the battles the last 2 summers in cornhole. He definitely has, no doubt. But to say undefeated, like I didn't win a few games at cornhole, that's fucking insane, all right? Also, on top of that, when I play cornhole, just like every man in America, I play it with a drink in my hand and sometimes joints in my hand too.
Yeah.
And he's over there like drinking protein shakes, and he's been practicing for like 8 hours. Like, so I'll be like running the party because that's what I am. I'm the guy that throws the party, make sure everybody's having fun, the music's on, hey, here's this, blah, 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 blah. And he'll be up there for hours just practicing and be like, you ready to play yet? And then I'll be like, yeah, can I take a few practice shots? Oh, come on, you're ready. Let's go. I mean, so that's how it goes down. Now, with
Gotta
the ball,
want it, Chris. Gotta want it.
I know.
Gotta want it.
And I dominate everybody in cornhole except for him. He does have that little dad special power over me, right?
Yeah.
And then also, okay, he's like that in everything. I mean, like I've told you, I think before, he bought me a backgammon board for Christmas one year. I had not learned backgammon, and we played one game. I was like, oh, okay, I think I got it. And he's like, all right, let's gamble, right? Let's gamble. And I was like down $1,000 like the first 3 games I ever played. I had no idea. So he loves to set things up the way. Wiffle ball, yeah, I'm usually beyond fucked up by the time the wiffle ball game comes on at 7 at night,
yes,
right? And when my sister's like, Christopher, get everybody together. We want to play wiffle ball.
Right.
And then Thanksgiving football, yeah, he has to show up at Thanksgiving to be a part of the game, right?
Right.
I mean,
what he's saying is you dominate that only because he wasn't there. I mean,
no, he wouldn't come outside on Thanksgiving. He's full of crap. Nor can we even get him to partake in anything with the family on Thanksgiving. So that he can't have that as an excuse.
Listen, he was busy winning fucking Super Bowls. Okay, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, that
Give
was
the man a break.
That was 40 years ago. Fuck off. Okay. Yeah.
Got to build a wall in backgammon. That's
Oh my God.
Yeah, you got to do that, right? I love backgammon. It's a great game. I love it, right? But my dad, I'm no joke. I owe my dad, I think, $23,000 in backgammon. 23.
He took advantage of his own son.
We have a written down, but yeah, as I told you, the first 24 hours I learned the game, I think I was down like $7,000, right? I'd be like, double it. Let's double the cube. And he'd be like, yeah, sure. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, that was stupid. I doubled that, right? So yeah. So it all went bad on me.
You know how this works. You go 9-0 on Thursday nights, and everyone loves you. And the first time you lose a game, you did last week, Mr. Thursday Night, everyone comes after you.
I know,
like
right?
They forgot about the first 9 weeks. Did
Right.
you get criticized for that? What happened?
I definitely, so that night too, I was at my dad's 70th birthday party, and I have a group of friends who, yeah, they kind of live and die with my picks to a degree every week. Not that they always pick what I pick, but they want to hear what I'm saying about the game and do that, right? And so, like, I got there, and a few of my friends were like, oh, Mr. Thursday Night, let's go. Who do you got? And I have their phone out, and they want to place the bet. So, yeah, I got a lot of looks throughout the night and definitely got some texts from some friends. But I think my friends at least appreciated the fact that I'm 9-1. I mean,
Right.
that's not the worst.
Yes. If you bet all 10 games, you're doing just fine. Go ahead, Taylor.
It's not how you fall, but how you get up, Sims.
Yes.
Yep.
Tonight, Patriots minus 12.5 against the Jets. How do you kind of see that game playing out in Foxborough?
I expect the Patriots to be able to cover that spread. Now, I'll say it with my same disclaimer as I always say. I wish, again, last week's game, that was painful. That's enough of a game to go, like, they got to change the third. What do we get? A Thursday night game like that, I feel like, once every 4 or 5 weeks, right? Yeah. I feel like it kind of goes that way. Mm-hmm. And that's where they got to, it's just not enough time for these teams to prepare and get healthy and lay it on the line. But nonetheless, with tonight, yes, I think I got the Patriots 27-10. I do say this all the time. The Jets are no slouch on defense. You can't just think, oh, we're just going to move the ball on them just consistently. When the ball gets moved on them, usually it's just because they're like, wait, we were out here 3 plays ago, now we're out here again. Wait, we were out here 3 plays ago, now we're out here again, right? Because the offense can't stay on the field, and eventually the dam breaks. So I think they can make some plays or maybe contain the Patriots for a while, but it's the lack of offense in the Jets that I just go, eventually everything will fall apart. So, yeah, I like the Patriots 27-10 in this one.
Did you agree with the Giants' decision to fire Brian Daboll?
In totality, yes. I mean, I think we all knew it was going that way.
Yes.
Right now, I guess there was a part of me that was a little skeptical because my big thing is it's just, other than them running the ball with Jackson Dart too much and not being able to protect him or obviously get the message through his head to protect himself, right? Everything has gone the right way with Jackson Dart and his development. So there would have been a part of me, right, if I was in those meetings and going, hey, we know we're going to fire him. We know we can call other people and get a gauge for coaching interest and do that behind the scenes. Let's just let him and Jackson Dart continue to go this way, or at least Jackson Dart, and then we'll start back at ground zero when the season's over. That was the only thing I think I questioned about the whole thing.
Were you surprised they kept Joe Shane?
A little. I mean, that's not my favorite formula in the world.
Right.
Usually I'd like the new coach to come in with the new GM the vision of the team be on the similar page, right? I do think in this type of scenario, if you get a big-time coaching candidate who has options, he might not love that fact, right? So you go, wait, these are even. Oh, wait, this team I can bring the GM I agree with. This one, I got to go and listen to the GM, who obviously has the ear of the owner. And if I don't do good, he's going to go, hey, it's not me, owner. It's the coach down there, right? It's the coach. Right. So that scares coaches. And that's where that's a dicey situation, certainly.
Chris, it's interesting. We've been having this discussion pretty much the entire week. Do you think a quarterback, I know Jackson Dart's a rookie. I know he's injured, but he appears to be the future of the Giants. Like, it's impossible to watch that kid play football and not fall in love with the way he plays the game of football. Should he have a say in whether or not Daboll gets fired, and should he have a say or be consulted as to who the next head coach is going to be?
No, I don't. I don't think so. I kind of look at it, one, again, that's where I'm old school. Yep. Two, he's young and he doesn't know his ass from his elbow right now. And I say that respectively, right? I just say he doesn't know the NFL world, right?
Right.
I know, like, so yeah. And again, as we talked about a little bit before, like Bill Belichick, Parcells, high-functioning organizations, they don't go, hey, Jimmy, tell us what you think we should do. That's just not the way it works.
Right.
You guys
they also don't get fired, though, Chris.
They don't. You could tell them, you can warn them, hey, Jackson, we're about to hire this guy. Hey, maybe forewarn them. But I've never been a believer in you've got to earn stripes upon stripes upon stripes before you get into that category, right? It's Peyton Manning in year 7 or 8, Tom Brady in year 7 or 8, where it's like, okay, they've had 7, 8 years where it's like they're the best player in football. And okay, if we want to maybe ask them, like, hey, what do you think about this receiver or that receiver we're going to sign? Or, we were thinking about this coach or that coach. What's your 2 cents, right? Not let them make the decision, but what's your 2 cents? That I understand, but not right now where we are in this process.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is how important is that quarterback-coach relationship? Because if Jackson Dart, it appears that he loves Daboll, and it appears that he's flourishing in Daboll's system. How important is that relationship? And if he says, hey, I like the guy, let's keep him, don't you keep him? I mean, you want to make that guy happy.
That's where we got to get over this band camp thought, right? It's not about liking anymore. Okay. I mean, my dad came home a lot of Wednesdays and was like, man, fucking Bill Parcells, what a jerk he is. But that made him play his best.
Okay.
Right? Same with Belichick and Brady in that way. Yeah. So you want to respect and you want your quarterback to be in the same boat and the same thought process and all that. But yet I don't want them to be best friends. Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury, they were on the same page. They were best friends. How did that work, right?
Yeah.
There's got to be a line at some point. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, I hear them say stuff about each other and how much they like each other all the time. I'm pretty sure Ben ain't like, hey, come over after and let's have a beer. He's not going to cross that line, right? And that's where, again, I think I'm old school as far as how that goes.
Going to give you some names. Tell me what you think in terms of them being the next head coach of the Giants, okay?
Yeah.
Belichick.
I worry about it because he has the ear of the Giants. Right, he has I mean, listen. The last guy we just hired was hired partly because of Belichick, and we know he was also in the Brian Flores with the Brian Textgate. I don't know what Brian I'm texting, right? Because I just woke up from a nap and I can't see my phone the right way, right? so that Joe Judge was hired because of Bill Belichick.
Yes.
Right before that.
Yep.
So yeah, I worry about it. We know Bill Belichick wants to go to the New York Giants. He's told a lot of people that towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
You've seen him on America's Game, or maybe it was Bill and Bill, right? Where he's emotional in the Giants locker room and all that. He loves the New York Giants. And plus, I think he'd love to shove it up where the sun don't shine on the Crafts and the Patriots and that discussion. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want Bill Belichick as the head coach of the New York Giants, me personally.
All right.
I feel like that's gone. Time's gone.
All right. I agree with you. Lane Kiffin.
No. Again, I like Lane Kiffin. He's got a great thing going on in college football. But again, I'm not a big fan of the college guy going to the NFL. And I mean, we've seen that enough. It doesn't work more times than not. I mean, it's like it's so, and you forget where the NFL is just a different animal. Like, I watch college football. You guys know that. I do that every Saturday, and you can watch a really good defense in college football and go, yeah, they run 2 defenses, right? Like, I can go right now and go in and go, I can game plan for that. I haven't done shit as a coach for a long time, but I can do that. You get to the NFL and you go, whoa, you're sitting there with your clicker and you're like, what defense is this? What the hell coverage is this? I don't even know what this is. And you got to call somebody in and go, what do you think this is right here? What are they doing exactly? Right? It's a totally different game. And again, I'm not into, let me get my buddy here so we can be buddies in the meeting room and think that's going to actually translate on the NFL football field.
All right, so you don't like college coaches. I have to skip over Marcus Freeman, Lincoln Riley, Sarkisian.
Yes.
Skipping over. Okay, good.
Skip
okay,
them
let's move on. No, hold on. John Gruden.
Is Lincoln Riley going to even keep his job at USC? I mean,
it's a great question. I don't know why he still has his job at
USC. That's right. I'm with you.
John Gruden.
No. He just I don't see that. I feel like if Gruden gets back in, it'll be coach in the college. I think the NFL, he's burned so many bridges. His reputation in the NFL is not good, and I don't think the Giants are the type of team that are like, let me get Barstool John Gruden in here.
Right. Okay. This is the guy I think they should go after, Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah, there's a part of me that goes, do we need a guy that's kind of been there and done that? We've done the first-time head coach now, 3 times in a row? They've all sucked. It's 4 times in a row. Sorry, because it's McAdoo, Shermer, Joe Judge, and this, right? It's all not been good.
Yes.
So there is a little aspect of me of like, do we want to find a guy that's been there before? I have thought about Brian Flores. That's
Wow.
Right? I mean, again, I like Brian Flores a lot, but I mean, he's got a lawsuit with the Giants and all that over the Brian Texgate. So I don't know if that's possible. Jesse Minter, the Chargers defensive coordinator, love him too. But again, that's a first-time guy. I think they got to wait it out. Wait it out. Let's see what happens in Pittsburgh. Is Mike Tomlin definitely going to be back? Let's see what happens in Baltimore. Is John Harbaugh definitely going to be back? Right? Those are the things that I kind of look at, and I feel like in a little ways they might need to go that route.
That's how we'll know if he's a serious candidate, Flores, if he drops the suit,
Right. What? Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but he would be the Giants type of guy. I mean, again, he's, it's serious, it's buttoned up. He can really coach the defensive side of the ball. He's got a vision. He's from Brooklyn, New York. He's going to understand how things work up here in this area. But, I do think I favor the guy that's been there, done that right now, because there's no Ben Johnson to me this year. Right? There's no,
right. You're right. Yeah.
There's no Liam Cohn where
right.
I just was like, man, these guys I feel like are kind of can't miss. Like they're going to be good. Their offenses are incredible. And I really felt like that with Ben Johnson for sure.
Chris, are you concerned about the Bills, or you watched last week and you say, hey, that's just a bad week, let's move on?
No, it's my same concerns. I said on social media at one point during the week, again, I know this isn't in totality, but you don't see teams that go to the Super Bowl lose 30-13 to 2-7 football teams very often. That's kind of rare. Again, I'm not saying that definitely crosses them out, but that's a thing I'd write down and go, ooh, that's a piece of evidence to go, they're not that caliber of team. And then you've heard me say too, my problem with the Bills, when you talk about the teams that go to the Super Bowl, they have more than 1 or 2 blue chip players. When we go to the Bills, we go Josh Allen, James Cook. And then when you go, whoa, who's after that? And then I can go the Eagles, the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Rams, the Bucks, all the teams that have won the Super Bowl over the last few years. I mean, I could rattle off 10 stars on those football teams, at least. So that again is where I'm at there. And I expect them to bounce back this week, but that's the thing. It wasn't like, we got unlucky last week. They got outplayed, period, by the Dolphins.
Yes, they did.
Chris, if every team played their best game, who's the best team right now? Because I argue that right now there's just a lot of teams having clunker games, and we can't really judge them in totality. You kind of have to look at if you play your best game.
Yeah. Okay. So I like that. It's a good question there.
Yes.
And I think we have some good, like Tampa, I think is really good in a Super Bowl team, but they're not totally healthy themselves yet, right? So we haven't really seen their full potential.
Sure.
I think in the conversation you're talking about right now, to me, it's one of the 4 NFC teams. It is Philadelphia, Seattle, Detroit, or the Rams. I think it's one of those four. And I guess, man.
Not Green Bay?
No, not yet. Green Bay has the talent and the potential to be there, but they're not playing enough of that high-end football where I just go, I don't know what to expect from them, right?
Very inconsistent, yeah.
Exactly. That offense has gotta get better. Because the defense is phenomenal, as we know. Mm-hmm. I feel like when I see a team at their best, like Philly's scary, right? Because they can just win even when they don't play their best, and they know how to win. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But when at their best, I have not gone wow. Like, I think when I look at it at their best, I look at Seattle, Detroit, and the Rams and go, ooh, when they play their best, I am really impressed.
Yes.
And I feel like it's probably between Detroit and the Rams at their best that I look at to go, when they play an A-plus game, I come away going, oh my God, how do you stop them? How do you defend them? Man, the defense is good. And Dan Campbell calling plays on the offense. The offense changed last week. There was more emotions. There was more shifting. There was more post-snap movement. There was more formations. They got the ball to Jamison Williams. They made Jahmyr Gibbs more of a focal point there. I think right now the team that I've seen when they play their best, I think that impresses me the most is the Rams. I'll go with the Rams right now, but it's a close one between those other NFC teams.
Did you love Dan Campbell announcing that he was calling the plays against a really bad defense in Washington and holding up a play calling sheet that looked like a fucking Denny's menu?
I loved it. I loved it. Now, it is funny, and it's like, hey, I did make some fun this week because it's like, hey, don't worry, I'll take over this week against one of the shittiest defenses in football. I got it, guys. So he's got his work cut out for him this week because, man, I'm telling you, I was drooling watching the Eagles the other day. I like that 10-7 game one. I'm old school again. That remind me of Giants 49ers 1990, right? Where I was like, man, these are two just heavyweight hitters right here slugging it out. But this Eagles team, what they got on defense right now with Jalen Phillips, I mean, you go Jalen Phillips, Nolan Smith, and then the two Georgia guys in the middle with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. I mean, I put that four against anybody. And we know the LBs are good. And Quinyon Mitchell is in the conversation, if not the best corner in football this year. He's island shut down. He's entered the conversation with Patrick Surtain as being the best corner in the sport. So, the Eagles I love, but we know that offense has got some work to do. That's for sure.
Eagles still the favorites to win the NFC on FanDuel, plus 290. Rams are next at plus 380, and then the Lions do plus 440.
Wait, you want to hear something? You want to hear something crazy, guys? The Chiefs are plus 500 to make it to the Super Bowl.
I know.
And they're not even in the playoffs right now. It's insane.
Yeah, it is crazy. I'll say this. I will be shocked if the NFC doesn't win the Super Bowl this year, right? That's what I would say. I think the NFC is significantly better than the AFC.
That changed quickly, huh?
Yeah. Well, I think we were there last year.
The Eagles are always there, right?
The Eagles are there, and even the 49ers were there, too.
Yes,
like, the 49ers, I think, beat most teams in the AFC in the Super Bowl. They just played their one kryptonite with a special guy at quarterback that was like, I'm just not going to let us lose. I don't care how good you are, 49ers. So that's where it stinks for my buddy Shanahan. So I understand the Eagles being there. I definitely do. We know the offense has got the issues. I'm going to take Detroit in that game this weekend, though. I am.
Wow.
This is one of the few teams in football that, the Eagles can't take the field and just go, oh, we're bigger, we're going to out-physical you.
Right.
Detroit does that same thing. Detroit's going to be like, yeah, screw you. We're going to do that to you. Yeah. So they're not going to be compromised with like, oh, we got to put 10 guys in the box to stop Saquon, right? They're going to go, oh, we're okay. It's a passing situation. We got the biggest fuckers ever in the front. We'll let them handle the run. We'll be okay. And then, of course, I just think as awesome as I think the Eagles defense is going and about to be, I just feel like the Detroit has more avenues of success on the offensive side of the ball. I'm going to take them to win a close one on the road, 20-17.
At this stage, you just roll your eyes when A.J. Brown says what he said this past week?
Well, I mean, I don't find this one to be egregious, right?
Okay.
He's online. He's playing video games. He's telling the guy, don't take me in fantasy, right? He's saying our offense has got to be better. I mean, it's nothing that we don't know, right? So, I think I've had more problems with things he's done in the past. This one was in conversation. He's having fun, and he's bringing up things that Are you kidding me? Like, this is where I just we're all talking about that anyway. So now we want him to apologize. Hey, apologize for the thing we all know that's true that we're all saying, but you're not allowed to say it. How dare you? And we're going to be on Philadelphia radio and we're going to talk about it all day today. And we're going to talk about it, but you don't say it. Like, come on. I just think we overreact sometimes.
Wait, so I meant to ask you what you made of Mike McDaniel getting in a very fast car, driving by the elbow room. We call it the elbow room because that's where everyone did cocaine when I was younger.
Wow.
Just, and sticking it to Bill's Mafia. Mike McDaniel did this after getting his record to 3-7.
I know. Well, it's telling you his fire's not dead, though. He likes to shove it up, where the sun. He did. I loved it. I'm going to continue to sit here and stick up for Mike McDaniel.
Okay.
I mean, again, the team didn't quit. They've been playing pretty good football the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. Even the Ravens game. I mean, yeah, they fumbled the ball and turned the ball over. But we're like, hey, they moved the ball against the Ravens. They just messed it up. Their defense hung in there. It's just eventually the dam broke because of some of those mistakes the offense made. But I don't look at it and go, ooh, they're not playing for their coach anymore. They whooped the crap out of the Falcons. They were in the game for a while with the Ravens, and then they whooped the crap out of the Buffalo Bills last week. So that's where, I love it. And then what was that? A Bentley he was driving in there, right?
Yeah,
I mean, man, you can't hide money. He's the stylist coach in football, that's for sure.
That Jacksonville loss, inexcusable, Chris. I'm sorry. Davis Mills, come on. What are you doing?
Inexcusable, I think, from the standpoint, too, of the Texans spotted you a 20-0 lead to start the game, right?
Yes, and Davis Mills was playing quarterback.
Right. They throw a pick or a pick six or an interception early, and then they fumble the kick return, then they return a punt and do that. But I'll say this again, I'm not giving up on the Texans. The Texans are...
You like that team? You've said it all year. You love their defense. Right?
Their defense is a Super Bowl defense, a big-time Super Bowl defense. If their offense can just be average, which I think is where it's getting to finally here, they're going to be tough. They're one of those teams, and you get in the playoffs, you'd be like, oh, man... The Texans, we got to play them in the wild card round? Are you kidding me?
They live there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right? C.J. Stroud, if he's open, he's going to hit it. Man, if I'm playing quarterback and we're playing Houston, nobody's going to be open ever. Oh, gosh, this is going to be tough. They're made for that kind of game right there. So, yeah, I'm not giving up on them yet.
We already asked your dad this week about, is Trevor Lawrence good? He answered it, so you can have the week off for that.
Yes,
so I'll ask you this.
Yes.
He
liked him, by the way. He did.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he loved
Are
him.
we done with Kyler Murray in Arizona?
Yes.
Have we seen the last of it?
I think so. Yeah. I was saying this last week. I'll be shocked. First off, the whole thing and how it went down was a little weird in itself, right? But... yeah, I don't think we'll see Kyler Murray there ever again. And, yeah, Kyler Murray's got some things to work on in his football game. And I think that Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenfort, that's going to be their one get-out-of-jail-free card and being like, hey, we never got to get our quarterback in here. We were stuck with Kyler when we got the job, and we've had to make it work. And I don't think... that's what they want. I think they want a big pocket passing type quarterback.
Right.
I worked with Monty Ossenfort in New England. I would be shocked if that's not what he wants. That's the mold he was brought up to like. We need a guy like a Jacoby Brissett, but maybe more talented, who can sit in there and dice defenses up. And, yeah, I don't think we see Kyler Murray ever play in the Cardinals uniform again.
I would argue those guys went there knowing who their quarterback was going to be. So
I mean, you're right. You're right. And it's not the worst option. It's hey, let's see what we got. Let's see if we can make something happen. But I think they've seen enough, and I've seen enough to go, nah, it's time for a change. And, Kyler's going to have to find a new team and make some improvements with his game.
Chris, this weekend's game's so fascinating. I love the Broncos-Chiefs game. This is a game, if listen, I think a lot of people are buying into the Broncos, but if you want everyone to buy in and you want to announce yourselves, you want to say, hey, we're for real, you beat Kansas City at home, right?
I mean, yes. Yes, but as we know, that's easier said than done,
right?
Especially with Kansas City coming off a bye week, right? I mean, not only is this a desperation game. I mean, you're Kansas City. You lose this game, you're starting to flirt with oh crap, we're gonna have to work to just get in the playoffs. Forget winning the division. That's
plus
over.
400 to make it to the Super Bowl next year.
Right. We're gonna be on the road in wild card. You lose this game, it's your chances are you're gonna be on the road wild card weekend. That's where we're going here.
Which they don't sweat, by the way. But yes,
yes, right. I get that. I know they got some teams in their division still left on the schedule here going down the stretch. I'm gonna take them to win the game in a close one, though. I am. I wouldn't bet on it, but I think what I look at between the bye week and I know the Kansas City offense is going to have some issues against that Denver defense. They're awesome. But, I mean, as you saw, the Denver offense, it has issues against everybody almost every week for the most part, except for a few quarters here and there. So that's where I just don't trust it. And I think with that extra time and the desperation and the meaning of the game, I'm going to take the Chiefs in a close one this week.
Broncos are plus 3.5 on FanDuel. In the locker room on teams, you never want to catch yourself looking ahead. But when you get a chance to kill the king, when you get a chance,
that's what's
to
big.
keep the Chiefs out. Is everybody else rooting for the Broncos?
I would say so. Yes.
Yeah.
I think everybody in the AFC would like to see the Chiefs not be in this calculation of who's going to go to the playoffs.
No one wants to see them, right?
Yeah,
Nobody
it's
wants that.
they've gotten that mystique like old New England, where it's like, New England's not having their best year, but oh gosh, we gotta play them in the playoff games. Oh no, holy crap! Because they're going to know how to play that style of football and do what they need to do, and they're not going to be nervous about a wild card game or divisional game on the road. They're not going to worry about that. They're going to be like, wait, we've been down in the Super Bowl like by 10 points 2 different times. We come back and win. Nothing's going to faze them.
They've already done it. They've won 3 straight on the road and went to a Super Bowl, didn't they? They just did it. Yes. So out of the wild card spot.
Well,
anyway,
they won 2 straight on the road. They won the first one against Miami in that freezing
in the snow
night.
game,
right?
Freezing.
Right. And then they went on the road and beat Buffalo and Baltimore. But
Buffalo and Baltimore.
Right.
That's it.
Exactly.
They're not sweating Daniel Jones.
Sims, there's 3 teams right now at 8-2 in the AFC. If you had a start bench cut, Patriots, Colts, Broncos in terms of contenders, how would you do that?
Wow. Start bench cut. I love it.
That's a good one.
Give them the teams again, slowly.
Say it.
Yeah.
Say it.
Patriots, Colts, Broncos.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah. I
He's
got
gonna say
you.
it.
Gosh.
Cut him. I want you to do it.
Cut them.
I'm going to start the Patriots.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to bench
you're
the
starting
Colts.
the Patriots. No.
I'm starting the Patriots. I'm going to bench the Colts, and I'm going to cut the Broncos.
Wow.
I mean, you're asking me a tough one there. I mean,
Yes.
I like all 3 of those teams, right? I really do.
Right.
But if you're gonna
just
make
throwing
me
out some
choose-
games to you
Yeah.
because it's such a great
Cool.
weekend.
Cool.
Let's start with Bucks Bills. Who do you like there? Taylor, do you have the FanDuel lines here? Let's go Tampa Bay at Buffalo. What a great game. Baker, Josh Allen. Buffalo needs it. The Bucks kind of need it too. Good game. Who do you like here, Sims?
Yeah, I think this is one where I look at and go, okay, Bills are at home. Huge game for them, right? There's, like we just talked about with the Chiefs, where you go, man, you lose this game, winning the division and doing that stuff, all of a sudden is like, whoa, you're not only going to have to go on fire, you're going to have to help for some hope. You're going to need help, right? You're going to hope for help. This is what I was trying to say there.
Got it.
I think the other thing that I look at is I don't think Tampa runs the ball all that great right now, right? They're not totally functioning on offense because of missing some people.
Yes.
So they're not their explosive selves. And their defense is just not as dominant as I would have hoped. Right? That's what I worry about with them. Like you saw last week, you can make big plays against the Bucks.
Right.
The Bucks, sometimes when you run the ball, they overplay the run. And the Bills will stay balanced. I'm going to play the urgency of the Bills being at home, right? The culture of their team and everything there, and that Josh Allen can make some big plays against this Bucks defense. I'm going to take the Bills 28-24.
All right, Bills minus 5.5 on FanDuel. This game is interesting to me, Chris, because that division is so bunched up. So all these games are big games. Bears, Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Vikings here. Now, again, in 1B, I wouldn't feel comfortable without betting money here on this one.
Okay.
But I don't feel like the Bears have been playing great football. Right, the defense we know is not good. They had a shamrock up their ass winning that game last week. I mean, Jackson Dart and them, they're driving down the field. It's about to be 24-7, and he fumbles, and that gave them, a second chance as far as the Bears are concerned. So, yeah, I don't trust the Bears defense, and not that Minnesota's offense is awesome, but being at home, big game for them. I think there's enough offense there to take advantage of some things with the Bears, and I still think a lot of that Vikings defense, they're a pain in the butt. And the Bears and Caleb Johnson and Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, again, like you've heard me say, it's not functioning at its highest level yet. They're still working him. He's still not the robot he needs to be in the pocket, trusting the offense. They're just a little reliant on playmaking, and I don't think they'll be able to do that against the Vikings.
But Jesus, he's fucking good, Chris.
Oh, that's the problem. That's where Ben's just going to have to continue to work with him, because he's just going to go, yeah. I mean, I want him to sit here and throw this to this guy. He's open, but instead he left the pocket and he made some unbelievable scramble and hit somebody 30 yards down the field for an unbelievable play, which is great.
Yes.
But against the great defenses, as you get here into playoff time and stuff, you're not going to get away with that stuff. And that's where he's got to continue to learn that.
By the way, the Vikings 2.5-point favorites on FanDuel. Final game, we'll get you out of here. We did your game, which is Lions-Eagles. That's Sunday night on NBC. Seattle, the game of the weekend, Chris. I cannot wait to see this game. And I think, to answer Mikey's question, for me, if the Rams are playing their best, they're better than anyone in the NFL. And Matthew Stafford should be the MVP this year, not Jonathan Taylor. I've changed my mind from 2 days ago. What do you think here? Rams and Seahawks. Rams are a 3-point favorite on FanDuel. I can't wait to watch this.
I think it's going to be awesome, too. Again, just like the Lions-Eagles, I tell people all week, I go, don't be shocked if this is the NFC Championship game, too. Or it's one of these 4 teams in cross-pollination, right? I mean, they're clearly the 4 best teams in the conference right now. Seattle can go to the Super Bowl. There's no doubt about that. I think the thing I look at here a little bit is, and I love Seattle. You know that. I'm going to pick the Rams to win the game because of, kind of what you just said. I'm with you. And that when they're at their best, I think the Rams have been the best team in football this year so far. And they're dangerous. The Seattle's still young, new. This is like the first, oh, wow, we're like in a big game here. Like, whoa, playoffs can be on here. Number 1 seed, this type of stuff. And I think the Rams will they're a little more battle tested. I think they'll be ready for that moment. Let alone, I don't think Seattle's had to play a team quite as complete like this quite yet, right? Seattle's had a pretty easy schedule. There's been no juggernauts other than the Buccaneers game where they had at home and it was a shootout and they lost. Yep. Everybody else they played has flaws and all of that. So I'm going to take the Rams and the fact that it's almost a learning experience for Seattle of like, whoa, we need to execute at a higher level, right? Well, we got to go back to the lab and work on a few scheme things when we play the Rams the next time. The Rams front 7 is phenomenal. Their secondary is pretty good. The Rams, coming off a week of playing Shanahan and the 49ers, some rules are going to cross over and go, wait, the Seahawks do some of that 49er stuff with Clint Kubiak, who worked for Shanahan, right? And then I just feel like Matthew Stafford's on fire right now. And as much as I love Seattle's defense, I feel like they find a way to get it done.
All right, PFT with Mike Florio every day on Peacock, the Unbuttoned podcast as well. Football night in America. They have the Lions and the Eagles coming up this Sunday. Texas going to get it done this week, Chris? What do you think?
If you made me bet, I would say no. But I'll be rooting like hell for them, right? Okay. I will that. I mean, it's again, Georgia's not like as dominant as they've been in years past.
Right.
But Georgia still has a toughness and a belief of winning games, close games especially, where they're just like, we're Georgia. We're going to pull it out here in the fourth quarter. And I haven't seen that type of magic from the Longhorns yet. So, yeah, I would lean Georgia here.
Texas plus 6.5 on the road, according to FanDuel, their sports book. That's disrespect. I mean, it is. I mean, you're Texas. You have Arch. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, 6.5 a little bit is one of those numbers that I've always been told is like they're not sure which way it's going to go. Like that's where it's a little scary, right?
Yes, they have no idea.
Another question for you guys. Taylor, what did you do last night, or did you just wake up and roll out of bed a few minutes before we started this today?
Thank you.
What happened to me?
Well, you look tired and disheveled, and you look like you have bedhead that you tried to just smash down with your hand right before you got on.
I do need a haircut. I do need a haircut.
You look a little puffy.
I mean,
like puffy from either over drinking last night or puffy from I just woke up and I haven't got things going yet so far.
I got a full night's rest.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Stu, I also texted Chris the same question I texted Raheem on Sunday morning.
I'm getting concerned that I give these guys all my numbers and my contact list, and they're fucking texting them like they're friends. I mean,
I hear you. Yeah, Mikey A texted me and wanted to know about Sauce Gardner in the Colts game, right? On Sunday
Was it his
morning.
fault? Was it his fault?
It's a hard one. It's a hard one. It would depend on the rules of the defense, right? That's where I can't definitively say, right? They're playing cover 4, right? It's a cover 4 beater. some teams kind of play it different ways, so I can't say with a definitive answer that it was his fault, because it's like one of those where, yeah, he's got the guy in his area, the guy kind of runs to the post, right? And some defenses might be like, hey, we want you to take that guy, right? Others might go, hey, we want you just to stay outside. We hope our safety will get over there as he breaks inside, and you just stay in your quarters area there. So I don't know for sure, Mikey A, is what I'm saying.
Chris, get out of here. Enjoy the weekend. It's going to be a fun football weekend. Enjoy it, my man.
You know it. You guys too. Have a good one. Always fun. See ya.
All right.